being reaffirmed of why I don't like Shakey's and why I don't come eat at a Shakey's restaurant. And I'm sitting here in Tacloban at the Robinson's Mall in the Shakey's here. And, first of all, I walk in and they, want to make me sit in a seat that's like the worst seat in the place. And I'm like, really? I said, okay. And they're trying to force me to sit in a certain spot. And I'm like, no, I don't want to sit like that. I don't want my back to the door. So I got that sorted out. And then they bring me an old menu, which they don't even serve the stuff that's on the menu. Like you want a bottomless soft drink? No, we don't do that. You want mozzarella sticks? No, we don't have those. And I'm like, well, what do you have? And then they bring me, and then I'm looking at the menu. I'm like, well, where are the pizzas at on this menu? And so I'm like, Mom, am I missing part of my menu here? And they go, oh, and then she brings me one of their other single-page menus step aside, and the pizzas are on there. So, I go to order, and of course, half of what I want they don't have. And I'm like, okay, so then I order the pizza, and I'm sitting here minding my own business. Now, mind you, this is after I sat down and waited for about 10 minutes for them to come take the order, and they took the order of the people in the table next to me, Filipino couple that sat down after I did, and which, whatever, I'm used to that. But anyway, so I'm like, what in the world? Hold on one second. And I don't usually try to complain because I've been in the restaurant business before, but sometimes you get frustrated and you're like, things can be better, and you would hope that this is not indicative of all the Shakey's, but I'm not going to lie to you, most of the Shakey's I've been in, they're either out of something, or they don't have something that's on the menu, or it's just not very good service. Sometimes good service, but I've been in most where it's really not. Now they apologize to me, and then they come over, I'm sitting there minding my business, and they say, oh sir, can you move to this table? I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, why? And they kind of ignored me, and they're like, well, if you don't mind. I'm like, well, do I have a choice? They're already grabbing my stuff and moving it over to the other table. And there's a table right behind where I'm sitting, and it's right by where they take all their dirty dishes and clean them. I'm like, okay, so I went from a table that was okay, now to the table where you bring all your slop and everything, and all the traffic going in and out to the kitchen, which whatever. But I'm just looking at it like, finally I said, why are you moving it? And they're like, oh, because the light above the table. I'm like, it's fine. I mean, what about it? And she said something about it dripping. Well, so I've been sitting here watching because I'm right beside it, and I haven't seen anything drip on that table, and nothing dripped on me the whole time I was there. But I know the real reason why they didn't want me sitting there is because it's right by where they pick up the food, and I guess they want to keep that table empty. And then while they were moving me, they took the pizza holder and took it off my table and put it back on the table where I was sitting at. And I'm like, these people are like crazy. Don't have any clue. You just kind of got to laugh at them. But anyway, and I told the waitress, the server, I said, well, this is why I don't like to eat at Shakey's. I said, because it just doesn't make any sense, And I wanted a bottomless soft drink, but no, you get the bottomless. You either have to get lemonade or you have to get the sweet tea, because they do that to save money, because they're not losing as much money. It costs them more in the soft drinks than the cheap lemonade or cheap iced tea does. But it's false advertising, and it's a false menu, and they do this at every Shakey's I've been to. They have the menu that says one thing, but in reality, that's not what's on the menu, and you're dealing with nonsense. And it's just like, okay, why do I eat here? That's a good question. I don't know why I ate here. But I was hungry for pizza, and in Tacloban there's not much choice. It's either here or it's at Greenwich. And not real crazy about Greenwich. I mean, there's no Pizza Hut here, or there might. I don't know, dude. I doubt there's an S&R here. I'm not sure. I gotta be careful here. If they catch me alive here bashing them, they're probably not gonna like it. But you know what? It is what it is. I'm not saying anything that's not true, and I'm not putting any of them. Sorry about that, folks. I'm not putting anybody on this video except myself. I'm just telling the truth. And yeah, I see them now. They're going by, looking at my screen, wondering what I'm doing. And I almost got up and walked out. I really did. I almost got up and walked out because it makes absolutely no sense to me. And their excuse for making me move is bogus. There's nothing at all cooking on that table. And I can show you their excuse here. It is muted. Sorry about that. Now you can hear me. Well, I hope it wasn't. If it was muted the whole time, that's pretty bad because I was just blasting Shakey's. So anyway, this has been a bad experience at Shakey's here in Tacloban. I won't be coming back here to eat unless I have to. Emma, what, can you hear me now? I will say this though, the pizza looks decent. And it better be because of the nonsense I went through to get it. Yeah, that's okay. You don't have to accept my apology. That's all good. Yeah, Bruce and Joe, did you hear me complaining about Shakey's before that? Oh, they just, they put me in not a great seat. They tried to make me sit somewhere I didn't want to sit. And, thanks, Allie Martin. And then while I'm sitting there, of course, they don't have half of what I want on the menu. Every time, oh, we don't have that. Oh, we don't have that. And I'm like, well, what do you have? And of course, you can't get the bottomless drinks that you want. You have to either get tea or lemonade. You know, the one menu they gave me that was missing pages said that you can. And then, so then. I'm sitting there minding my own business. They asked me if I would move my seat. And I'm like, why? And they didn't really tell me anything. They just wanted me to move to the table right behind me, which is right by the slot bins and where they do the cleanup and stuff. And so, they're grabbing my stuff and moving it whether I wanted to or not. And then when they moved me, I finally asked them, like, Mom, why do they have to move? And then she pointed up to the light, which one of the light bulbs is out. I'm like, I don't mind about that. And then she said, no, it's dripping. I'm like, I've been sitting here where there's nothing dripping out of that light. And so anyway, it's just crazy. Well, I had my hat off. I don't know why I put it back on. See that? Emma, what? I know you missed the bald head. But yeah, I had my hat off. But anyway, it's just one of those things, folks. It's the way it is. Don't mind me. I'm gonna take a bite of this pizza, see if it makes up for my grumpy mood I'm in now. Well, they brought me extra napkins to make me not be pissed off, I guess, or mad. Sorry. But Yeah, what are you gonna do? You know, I will say this though. This time, for a change, the pizza's actually good. I'm surprised, and so maybe I'll be in a better mood by the time I leave. But you know, this is just typical Shakey's. They talk about, you know, the Filipino. They love this restaurant, and they pay all this extra money for food that's like mediocre quality, and they act like they're special. And, you know, we're eating where the rich people eat or something. And I was like, are you kidding me? It's freaking Shakey's. It ain't that great. You know, S&R's got better pizza than Shakey's in my opinion. You know what? I'm not new to the game, okay? I know about giving people compliments. I used to be in the restaurant business before I went to join the Army. I worked food service all through college. I worked in a restaurant, and I cooked in a restaurant, cleaned up tables, washed, did everything in the restaurant while I was in high school. So I know how to treat service staff. I don't treat them badly. And I generally don't treat them badly because most of the time it's not their fault, but I don't like being lied to. And if you're going to make me move from one table to another, at least give me an explanation, especially when I don't want to move because I didn't want to move. But I moved. It's all good. Excuse me while I take another bite. And you can see I eat pizza like an American from the Northeast. Even though I'm not from the Northeast, I just lived up there a lot. Hi, Art, how are you doing? Yeah. I'm at Shakey's, eating their mediocre food and not being happy. Well, I'm in Tacloban, so my options are limited. I'm going to spend the night here, and then I'm going to fly home tomorrow night. Back to Elo. Back to where there's an S&R. Which I don't mean S&R, but sure it's fun having an S&R. But anyway, it's all good. Thank you for the thumbs up. For those of you that came in here, and thank you to those of you that came and left and still pop in. I appreciate it. Now, I'm not in Elo. I'm in Tacloban, Leyte right now. And I saw you, Bellis. I'm sorry I didn't comment. He says, welcome to Leyte. And, yeah, I'm at Shakey's, Bellis. I'm not happy. And anyway, I just left Dallas's home. His one of his main workers gave me a ride over here and dropped me off at the hotel I'm in. And I really appreciate that. Appreciate that, Bellis. And to your lovely wife also for putting up with me for almost 2 weeks. I was there for almost 2 weeks. I didn't realize time flies when you're with good people and you're having fun, you know. Let's see. You need to rent a room in Leyte long term. Negative. No, I'm just staying in a hotel and then hop on my flight tomorrow. Excuse me. So, yeah, the crust is good this time. And I'm sorry for the extra noise. These earbuds pick up everything. But no, I don't need a room long term in Leyte. And if I ever decide to stay in Leyte long term, because I'm not opposed to that happening, because this is a beautiful island. But if it does happen, I'll rent a house. I'm not renting a room. I have too much stuff. Oh, you're asking about the young lady that I was sweet on. Well, it turns out that, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I think she's a little bit bipolar. And I was getting mixed messages, and I'm sorry, the colonel only puts up with that kind of nonsense for so long, and he decides it's time to cut that loose. I don't care how cute she was. That's why I'm very careful. And normally, why I don't talk about my relationships online. The only reason I talked about this one was because people outed me, and I felt like I had to address it. But normally, unless I'm full on into in a relationship, permanent type relationship, committed relationship, you guys won't know anything about it. And but normally, but we'll see what happens. There's always an option. There's a YouTuber in Thailand that I used to watch, and that was one of his things. I forget, was something in Asia, and he always As you said, there's always an option. And that's the way I look at it. There's always an option. My heart, oh no, it didn't work out with that girl. I'm so sorry. That's okay for my heart. That's what dating is all about. And that's what meeting new people and talking to them. You meet them, you're talking, you spend time with them because you want to see is it going to work out or not. And I'm not going to lie to you. I really like this. I really like this girl. However, yeah, there was something going on there, some kind of disconnect with her, and I was just like, you know what, I don't need that, and some immaturity there on her part, and I just you know what, I'm too old for this nonsense, and it's okay, we'll still be friends, maybe, I don't know, and but I'm a nice person, I'm not going to be nasty to her or anything. Bipolar, that's a new one. In the Philippines? You think? Nah. Some people have multiple personalities, and some people could be happy, manic one time, and then depressive the next. You know, and you're not in the mood and whatnot. And I don't have time for that. Life is short. Why should you spend it with someone that you don't have to? That's just going to cause you grief every other day. It's not worth it to me. Why put yourself in that position? Yeah, mature when, yeah, you know, I'm not always the most mature person myself, so I got to be careful when I talk about maturity levels, because sometimes, you know, I'm 61, but I act like I'm 16 sometimes, you know, just the way it is. Excuse me. It's kind of dumb to go live when you're going to eat food, but I was just really ticked off, and I wanted to vent to you guys or to somebody that would listen. But the pizza's here, so I'm feeling a little bit better. It tastes good. They did a good job on the pizza. Maybe to put the word out, hey, this dude's not happy. Or you just never had the right medication. It's not me on what the bipolar, it was the girl. I mean, you can joke around with me and pull my leg all you want. I got a good sense of humor. And I meant to say, a woman that knows enough, what do they really want to do? No, yeah, absolutely. No wasting time at all. And that's what I told her. I said, well, this is a single mother, so I thought, okay, well, she's not totally immature, but and whatnot, but hey, it's all good. She missed out on a good man, and it's okay. Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm going to eat, but I appreciate you affirming that I can do that. I just don't want to be rude and, you know, everybody see me shoving food in my mouth and seeing that I don't have any teeth and whatnot, you know. Don't want the dentures to fall away. I don't have dentures, but I'm getting close. Well, my chewing noises in my earbuds. Hey Norm, welcome to my live stream from Shakey's in Tacloban, Robinson's. This isn't Robinson's Galleria. This is like, is it Robinson's store mall or something? Maybe it's Robinson's home. I don't remember. Number one said if you had the right meds, you would have given her the right meds and the right dose. You know what, let's not go there, because I can take that to a whole different level. We're not going to do that. Nope. I'm not giving anybody that update or talking to any kind of medication unless it's prescribed by their own doctor. Nope, not going down that road. Yep, it's based medicine. It's my heart's in this medicine is based on your diagnosis and also based on the expertise of a medical professional. And you know what? And you're laughing at me. I ain't gonna lie to you, I have a lot of, excuse me, I have a lot of medical training and a lot of medical experience, but I'm not a legal doctor, nor do I pretend to be one. But I probably know more than your average bear about medical things and medicines and whatnot. I take enough medicine myself, but reminds me, I didn't take my blood pressure medicine this morning. That's all good. It's illegal to distribute medication if you're not My heart, you're saying that like a true American, but I'm not in America. But yes, in the U.S., if you're even in possession of medicine that you're not prescribed to, you actually technically are in a violation, and you definitely cannot take medication that's prescribed to another person in the U.S. Nor can you give your medication to another person. It's illegal, and you can actually get in a lot of trouble for it. Yeah, I hear you, Panay Hart. You're speaking like that like a true nurse there. You never advise someone to take medication. I only say to seek a specialist. I'm not going to lie and say that that's what I do. I'll tell people, hey, you should take that. But with the caveat that, hey, I'm not a doctor, maybe you should go see a doctor and get Yeah, I know in the USA, that's why I know exactly that's why I know you were saying that. It's all good. It's all good. I want to take time to do a little real quick. You're a true nurse. Yeah, USA is so strict when it comes to medication. Yeah, Panay Hart, are you a nurse? I'm gonna watch asking. So here's the thing, folks. I want to just take pause for a second and say this to everybody. The Colonel's Chronicles channel, which kind of started out as a joke to me, and just started out as something to do when I was bored, and somebody said I should do it because I talk so much all the time. And it kind of started out as, for me, it's just kind of something to pass the time. My channel is actually growing, and it's thanks to, hey Simon, CEO to Farmer Simon. Hey, how are you, sir? And what I was saying is that, the channel's starting to grow and take off, and even though I'm still just kind of fooling around, but I get to meet all kinds of people and talk to different people, and I've even had people come up to me and say, hey, that's the Colonel. That's hilarious to me. People, they saw me on YouTube and they come up and say something to me. That just cracks me up to no end. And especially because I spent most of my life out in public trying to hide, so people didn't know who I was for security reasons. But anyway, I want to thank everybody that's been supporting this channel, supporting me, and supporting my friends that are also helping me. Bella's Traveler, James and Karen, and Mike got me into this, talked me into it, and then and other people. I appreciate that. And Gino has always been an encouragement to me. And you guys that come in here and watch the channel, I just want to thank everybody that I'm not monetizing. I don't care if I am monetized. It's nice because I'm competitive, but as far as I don't need that per se. I'm just having fun talking to people and meeting people. So all I'm getting at is a big thank you, and I appreciate each and every one of you that come in here and talk to me. It's kind of cool. Hey, let's see. Let me back up here. Okay, yeah, Panay Hart says I'm not a medical expertise, but I'm multiple expertise. Okay, I give advice on what not to take. There you go, Norm. Animals. Hey, Simon, James and Karen. Is it still morning or is it afternoon? Yeah, good afternoon. I'm at Shakey's and I was not happy. Now the pizza's here, I'm a little bit happier, but I had a less than stellar experience sitting down and trying to get my order taken and then making me move to another table without a really good reason. And but I'm doing a little bit better. So I decided to go live and complain about it. And that's what I'm doing. Sorry for all the extra noise. It's loud in here. CEO the Farmer, Simon said, hey, Amo, Karen and James, 1120 subs already. Colonel, you and Bellish are killing it on YouTube. Well, James, we really thank you and Karen. You guys have been inspiring to us and helping us out, and really all your subscribers and whatnot have come over and supported us, and we got to give credit where credit's due. This is not anything I'm doing. I'm just having fun. Hello, Simon from James and Karen, Panay Hart. I'm a wide-eye and just knowledgeable because here in the USA we have established doctors here. He takes care of us for years and years. There you go. There you go. I actually had medical training in the military and in the bureau. So, yeah, it is what it is. I had a lot of emergency training. And you learn a lot from that. James and Karen said, at Mercury Drug in Cleveland, getting a refill on Karen's medicine. Very good. I like Mercury Drug. The YouTube bug beats you, Colonel. Well, it does get addicting, you know, and everything. And then there are certain people that they ask you questions, and then there's, yeah, it's kind of like I don't know the medication for it. Maybe it's this pizza. Hold on a second. But honestly, I talk too much. And this gives me an avenue to talk and get it out of my system so I can be quiet for a while. Ah, James, you're being too kind. That actually sounds like something Karen would say. But I appreciate that. You know, along with that, we're also helping Jenny Lynn, we're helping Tom Don. Both of them with their channels. Jenny Lynn is really going crazy on her channel. And I should say she's not going crazy. Her channel's going crazy. She's a very, very popular young lady. And I watch her videos. I get it cracked. I mean, she cracks me up. She don't even know it. That's the beauty of Jenny Lynn. She doesn't even know that she's cracking people up, but she is. And probably if she knew why, she probably would be embarrassed and probably stop doing it. So we're not going to tell her. Don't anybody tell her. Okay? But check out Jenny Lynn's channel also. She's something else. But anyway, thank you, James, for his kind words. He said I'm pretty good at it. I don't know. I'm trying, just like the rest of us. Carl, you're funny, so your channel will do well. Well, am I funny or am I funny looking? Because sometimes I just think I'm funny looking. But now I appreciate that. You know, it's funny. It's vindication against my kids because my daughter's, Dad, you're not even funny. I'm like, well, I'm laughing. Yeah, you're the only one laughing. I said, well, I'm the only one that matters. As long as I'm laughing, I'm good. But nah, I appreciate the kind words. Really do. Yeah, that's just really, I'm humbled by it, actually. Wow. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Then he puts pizza is better than Shakey's. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, I have to say that because I might not ever get pizza from her again if I say something bad. Good. Yeah, Karen makes some good pizza. So, Panay Hardy asked her, James, how's Karen feeling? She looked pretty good since she's home. It's amazing how when a woman gets home, back to things that are familiar and back to her family, that all of a sudden they seem to do better. And they seem to get better overnight. But I think Karen had a little bit more than that going on. I don't know, if you had or wore a dress, you would explode. Well, I wore a dress once upon a time, but only at Halloween. And afterwards, my mom said I was never allowed to do it again. She was so worried that, you know, that I would be confused about my sexuality. But look at me, do I look confused? I don't think so. I'm not confused at all. And I heard me and my husband were watching your vlog and saw you, Colonel, live, so we paused and glad to see you. Well, thank you, Panay Hart. I appreciate that. And thank your husband for me also. I appreciate it, sir. Panay Hart, Karen is feeling better that once, but once you finish the medication. Yeah, it's important you finish your medication, especially if it's an antibiotic. Oh boy, you don't even need a wig. Your personality and dress, man, yourself would go to the moon. You know what? As tempting as that may sound, it's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Although I do tell people about certain things. Don't knock it till you try it. But I would have to go to the extra large section of Planet Dress to get over my fat body. And there might be some women in there offended that I would even be looking in that section. I just have to tell them, hey, don't look at me, look at yourself. Don't worry about me. But that's not happening, folks. Nope, not happening. I mean, I'm comfortable wearing purple. I'm comfortable wearing pink. But I got no need to wear a dress unless it's a toga, maybe. I don't need to do it. But having said that, it really doesn't matter what you dress. If you're what you wear, it's your behavior while you're wearing what you're wearing is what really matters, right? I mean, if you want to wear clothes that look goofy and look bizarre, that's up to you. But don't tell me that I have to do it too. Okay? So Karen's feeling better. Okay, that's good. Marissa, I ignore him. Your other channel. I should use this account more if ever going to do more vids. Okay, Norm, you do the channel. You know, you use the one you got to use, brother. And my heart's glad that Karen's doing well. I hope that medication works well for her. Hopefully it will. And Jim says thank you to my heart. And yeah, Emma, that's right. And my heart says my husband commented James' sabotage vlog. I have no knowledge about why he is a mechanic. It's crazy what happened to James' bike. Yeah, it's kind of strange. You know, James is a big conspiracy theorist, and I tell him that all the time. But in this instance, I think somebody on that boat, I didn't even go to say, I told him this too. I said, I think somebody intentionally knocked the bike over. I saw it was a foreigner, somebody that's a hater, and yeah. And then they wanted to make sure, oh, this is a foreigner. Let's mess with the foreigner. I hate to be like that because I haven't really experienced that in the Philippines too much. But there are haters out there in every country, and it happens, and it's unfortunate. Yeah, you keep rolling on the floor laughing there, Emma. What? David, hello, Colonel. James and Karen, hey David, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you. Hey guys, thanks for all the thumbs up. I'm looking up there. I really appreciate that. Colonel, I'm dying here. Well, talk to Panay Hart. She might be able to tell you to go to seek medical professional. Oh my goodness. Let's see. At Panay Hart, and one reason I chose that model was because of something happened to it. A new Honda factory engine was only 30,000 pesos. Whoever did that is stopping us, only making us more determined. There you go, James. But man, if that were true, why did you ask Adrian how much it cost to replace that motor if you knew it already? Not to put you on the spot, brother, but just saying. But I thought you told me before 30,000. Maybe you were checking with Adrian to see if the cost went up. I'm just messing with you. Well, Coach James is exactly right. That's the beauty of it. Even when he was getting the bike worked on, he wasn't spending that much money for the repair. You're doing a top-end rebuild almost, except for the head. And I mean, come on, spending under $100. I mean, it's next to nothing. It was great. Hello, David from James and Karen. Yes, James, Karen, and you, Colonel. All the videos are good to watch and sometimes funny too. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I try to be a little bit funny. Actually, I don't try. It's just me. That's just who I am. Honestly, that's who I am. You can talk to people to hang out with. I'm pretty serious sometimes, and I get intense. But by and large, I joke around all the time. And different things just strike me as funny. And I turn this camera this way because the lights are blinding behind me there. So I think there's some people here who think I'm filming them, but I'm not. So let's rate the pizza. Shakey or Karen? Be honest. LOL. Karen makes the best pizza. She's still working on her crust. Okay. But overall, Karen's pizza outstanding. This is just a pepperoni, so Karen puts mustard out on her pizza. I think so too, Colonel. I think so too now, Colonel. You talking about the bike, James, or the pizza? You're talking about the bike. Yeah, on the boat, I think somebody knocked it over and then did something just to dig at the foreigner. Just because there's evil people, even in the Philippines, as nice as the Filipino people are overall, you got haters out there. And it could have been me, it could have been anybody, James, you know? You just never know. Karen, look at your teeth back, so be careful. Hey, I could take care of myself, man. What? You know, you want to talk smack to Karen about me, you go right ahead. But I've been face to face with Karen. I ain't scared. No, that's not true. I'm a little scared. Nah, she's a good girl. Let's see. She's a good girl. Let's see, James and Aldo, here's the thing. I got something on James and Karen. I have something that they need. Because they left it behind at Bella's Traveler's house. And guess who has it? The Colonel has it. And they can't get it, so I give it up. You know? And, yeah, they need that power cord. So Karen got to be nice to me, too. She wants that power cord. Nah, I'll give it back to her. I'm just kidding. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's see. James and Karen, I do believe you. I am a Filipino, and trust me, it can happen. I explained that to my husband. Get that tamper resistant. He explained to me that you upbuild your bike. That's great. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was telling James too. Just not do a total rebuild, dude. You know, unless you just want to get a new bike, but without getting the new motor, just rebuild the whole thing. Start over. It's so cheap over here. Why not? As Bella's. I don't think Bella's had Karen's pizza, did he? Did she make the pizza for us? Yeah, she did. I forgot we ate Karen's pizza at Bella's. I stayed there so long, James, I kind of starting to forget Can you believe I was there for like 13 days? That's insane. I say that's true for that young lady down the street. That turned out to be a waste of time. If she could have stayed in one personality, it would have been all right. All right. I'm pretty sure Karen's pizza is better, especially when they're passionate and creating good pizza. If you start a small diner eventually, I bet you will do great. Well, Karen will tell you that she's working on her crust, and she is. But the pizza I've had at their house and the crust it was just fine. I told her it's just fine. It's just, you know, everybody has different types of crust, and it's up to you how you want to make your pizza crust, you know. See if I can get a drink here. Now, here's just something interesting. This small family is going to sit down at the table that I was at, that they made me move from. It's going to be interesting to me to see if they tell them to move. That's going to be humorous if they let them sit there. Okay. Let's move up on the comments. I'm like, yeah, I'm both bipolar too. When I skip my bed, literally every day. Well, it's a good thing we're not dating. It's a good thing we're not in a relationship. I don't do well with bipolar. I tolerate one, and I don't put up with the other. It's all good. So anyway, they did a good job in the crust here today, the Shakey's. And it's hard to mess up a pepperoni pizza. But I'm sure if they could have figured out a way to do it, they would have. But they did pretty good today. I'll give them credit. iHeart. I do hope Karen gets well with her medication. I hope there's not a lot of side effects. I have ADHD. I chose to take meds especially. However, I need to make sure my meds approved there in the Philippines. Well, iHeart. Now, that's something about ADHD. You know, I'm like a little bit on the fence about that. I do believe in attention deficit disorder. Some of the hyperactivity I look at is that's just bad parenting when they're younger, or people don't know how to control their children. But as far as the attention deficit, I got it. I'm all over the place. I'll be doing one thing and then I'll see something else and let me go work on that for a little bit and then get bored with that. But most of mine is boredom. I get bored with something, I jump to something else and then I go back to the other thing. So I get it. I'm not meditating. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. Just get to know both and they can work out. Amoat, you're hilarious. Hey Lou, says, hey Colonel. That's hilarious. Get to know both. The problem is, I like one, but I didn't like the other. You know? The ADHD is hard for people, can't organize thoughts. It's hard to focus. Making decisions is very essential. Yeah. Bro, don't take YouTube so serious. Like James and I. Go Captain Go, I think you took the signals wrong, bro. Yeah. No, I didn't take any signals wrong, dude. Not at all. And, yeah. I was chastising Bellis earlier. I said, dude, man, because he's sweating like everything about YouTube. I'm like, dude, it's just YouTube, man. Why are you sweating this so much? You don't need the monetization, man. What? Why? But this dude, man, he's like sweating everything. You need to do this, you need to do that. And he's like, trying to jump over me and outdo what I'm doing. And look at this, and I did this without doing that. Look, this is good. I'm like, dude, chill out, man. Chill out. It's just YouTube, man. It's not life. And I just, James, don't let YouTube control your life. So this YouTube thing, I ain't gonna lie to you. If you want to put out quality content, which I'm not saying my content is high quality, if you want to put out high quality content, it's a job. It's like a job. You gotta work, and you gotta think about it and prepare and do stuff, and that's why I said when it becomes where it's like a job for me, where it's like that type of work, I ain't doing it anymore. Because I retired for a reason, because I want to be retired. And Bella's just jerking my chain, and that's fine, because I always get him back. I can come back to visit, And I appreciate the rides, but if I really want to just pester him and show up, I'll buy a motorbike over here, and I'll find his house eventually. Once I get over that area, I know where he goes. As I get older, my ADHD gets shorter. Fellas traveler, at this stage of your life, make mistakes and break glass, man, fix it later. There you go. I definitely make my share of mistakes on a daily basis. Like wasting 5 days trying to cultivate a relationship, which was doomed anyway. And what sad to say, ADHD is underdeveloped. Executive function stress is #1 cause. So maybe when I get there, I don't need that medication anymore. Well, I've had a lot of stress in my life, so maybe that's why I got the ADD. I don't know. But they got my signal to get me a drink. So, I'm serious. That's my big brother coming out. You are serious. Don't see it. You're always welcome, bro. Never forget, fellas. The colonel's older than you. Okay? Don't forget. Just because you act older and you look older and your body is like in worse shape than mine, don't forget. Wisdom comes with age, my friend. See, for those of you at the beginning, see, I'm very polite to the servers here, okay? Even though I'm not happy with this restaurant. Still polite. Did I miss something up here? Thought I missed a comment. If I missed your comment, I apologize. Yeah. No, I think I got all of them. But yeah, my thoughts are all over the place. Fellas traveling, young girls, nah, no thank you. Well, she might have been younger, but she was of age and no longer needed parental consent. She had a child. Oh, you doing Bella bad? Bella's bad. No, I'm not. Bella's and I are good friends. But I do dog him out once in a while. But he dogs me out all the time. I'm just giving him back a little bit. Okay. BH Rose Store. Good morning. Well, good afternoon to you, BH. Best regards from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Well, good morning. Bellis is here. You can talk to him too. He knows your neck of the woods better than I do. But welcome to the Colonel's Chronicles. Appreciate you stopping by and being here and hanging out with us. I got to get eating on this pizza. They're going to kick me out of here. But thank you for that. Bellis, I had an over 30 rule at 28. Don't believe him. Don't believe him. This is Colonel. Would you choose a money? Hold on. Scrolled up on me. Would you choose a money machine or a time traveling machine? You cannot use the time machine to make money. Honestly, money's not that important to me, so I would choose the time traveling machine. You can always make money along the way. Okay? But money is not my goal in life. Never was. And still isn't. Don't get me wrong, I like to earn money just as much as anybody, but the love of money is not my problem in life. The love of something else is my problem. It's not the love of money. Hello, sir. This is gaming. Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah, okay, meeting there. Yeah, I think, what happened the last time you were on here? Did I block you? I had to hide you or something? I don't remember. User, hello everyone. User says hello. Panay Heart. At Colonel, if these girls are younger than 30 and living with parents, that's going to be a challenge for them to make their own decisions. Yeah, but you know, I was talking to a single mother. But I'm well aware of, you know, I have 3 daughters myself, so I'm well aware of the dynamics there. Hey, it's not my fault that my daughters are older than this girl. Okay? Not my fault. Bella says, love you, salute. Hey, come on, Bellas. Some things, man, supposed to keep that on the download, brother. You know what I mean, brother? Brother, keep that on the download. Don't give away all our secrets. Sandra Horn. High on a hill calls to me. Okay. You know, I look to the hills from whence my help cometh. A lot of these young Filipinas can't make their own decisions, especially if they rely on these family around them. But I do hope you find a good one. Well, thank you for my heart. And if it's meant to be, it will be. You know, if I'm meant to go to the grave by my lonesome, I'm more than capable of doing that, and more than capable of doing that. Is that double talk? Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm satisfied with that. I'm content with that is what I meant to say, and capable of doing that. I've lived alone a lot of my adult life. Since 2007, really, I've lived alone a lot. Most of that time. Majority of that time. It's all good. My mom trained me well. Sir, today is my birthday. Well, okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. You have a good birthday. Bella's traveling honestly between 30 and 50 sweet spot for me personally. To each his own. Will always respect you regardless, big brother. Well, see, Bellas has to say certain things because he's in a situation that he's got to say certain things. You know, that's just the way it is. Teasing you, Bellas. I don't want to get involved with a Filipino my age because they want to move things real fast. I just want to watch a movie, go for a walk, and get coffee. Well, do they want to move things too fast, or are they just looking for a commitment that you're not willing to give them? What, Colonel? The love of distributing them meds. I see you, man. All righty, brother. Sister. I'm a what? Let me look at that. I don't know, man. I forget. I was thinking you were a girl, but not. Excuse me for that. Sandra Horn. Yeah, okay. I think that's a troll. Keep commenting, though. I appreciate it. And all children live here with parents, even in their 30s, sometimes 40s. It's normal here. I think she knows that, though. In the fog, yeah. My love. Yeah, okay. Bella's, or yes, at Bella's my heart, because we are accustomed that our parents are welcoming us to live with them. In return, we are required to support them. It is a culture, absolutely. It's the same in Thailand. So, I think it's with Kanai. I left home at 14, child at 19, married at 20. I think it's a big step to maturity. Now, if you're going to keep it real, then say something constructive in the chat. Americans aren't obligated to help families, but it's part of our culture, especially if they help us until we grow older. Well, my heart, that's not necessarily so. That's not necessarily true. That's what you've seen. But that's not all Americans, and that's not all American families. And some are obligated to help their families. It just depends on the way they were raised. But most Americans, we raise our children so that by the time they're 18, they can live independently and they can be constructive adults, can live on their own and take care of themselves. These last couple of generations, it's not so much like that. That's why you got trolls coming onto our YouTube channels. You know, they're sitting in their mama's basement still at 35 years old and trolling, you know, people like me that are just trying to have a good time and making fun of them. It's not everybody in America. When I left the Philippines, I was 27. I must have admitted I was not mature enough to be a wife. I'm at 27. Should have been. But being as you can admit that now, that shows your maturity level now. Yeah, no, that's return. But still the children mooching off the parents is what I'm seeing. They're like Gen Z basement dwellers. I've seen some of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but that's reality, you know. But it's up to the parents to do something about that. Mm-hmm. Yep. So what changed me, I have to support my family back in the Philippines. When I went to come back to the Philippines, there's no way my family can afford to live without my support. Young kids now are way different. Yes, they are. You know why? One of the reasons why? This stupid device that I'm using right now. What's the first thing parents do, young parents do now? Their kids are acting up. they hand them the cell phone, they put it on YouTube to a cartoon or whatever. So when the kids are bored, instead of using the brain that God gave them to use their own imagination to play with something, Mommy, Dad, give me the cell phone. You know? We're doing the children a disservice by doing that, and we're all guilty of it. For most of us. Well, look who stopped by to visit, Angelita Rosales, my dear friend and neighbor from San Juan, Batangas. Neil says, at my heart, at home, when I was living in the Philippines, there were 4 brothers, all married with children. Their mothers reported them working from Saudi. That's a shame. Well, if they were adults, that's a shame. My heart says I've seen fellow Filipinos who are married at young age. Most of them divorced their husbands due to age differences. They left or they felt like they deserved to have freedom. LOL. Well, if I meet a younger one and she decides to develop a relationship with me, I just tell them right up front, hey, I ain't gonna live that much longer, probably. You can start over. You can have kids with somebody else. They're still young. Well, at the age gap. And that's when you find out if it was real or not. You know, what they do after the fact. It's all good. I hate to have somebody hurt through that. If they actually loved you, they're going to be hurt. And that part saddens me. But there's certain realities in life, and it is what it is. And either you can handle it or you can't handle it. Says we try to put their sons to work, but they were mostly not available due to basketball tournaments, motor racing, weekend beach trips, etc., etc. I just shake my head at that, bro. You know, that was childhood beating up on the Gen Z people. The Gen Z way off. I think covers most of the globe. You know, Bellis and I had a discussion the other day. I tried to tell him that I was the last of the baby boomers. And he argued with me. He had the audacity, like his generation would, to argue with someone from my generation. And guess what? That's right. He was wrong. The old guy was right. You know, don't argue with me about what generation I'm from. I'm well aware of the year I was born and what group that falls into because, you know, I've been beat down enough about that. I'm old. So, hey, Bellis, 2-0, brother. 2-0. Just remember that. He knows what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. Kanai Hart. Yeah, this is unfortunate. I witnessed fellow Filipinos cheating their husbands on their husbands. They married so young and left the Philippines, came here and wanted freedom. They blame their ex that they married so young and they demand freedom to be happy here in the U.S. Hey, I had to stay away from those traumas. LOL. Yeah, what that really is, Kanai Hart, is they can make all the excuses they wanted, but they cheated because they wanted to cheat. Okay, and they didn't love their husband to begin with, or for whatever excuse they made to themselves to justify, fell out of love with him. I've been down that road myself, and but the reality is they chose to do that. And maybe they met they become Americanized. They met a young American. They forgot their roots. They forgot the way their mama raised them, and then they went, oh, I want my freedom. Well, you got your freedom as soon as you went to the U.S., whether you realized it or not. You chose to put yourself, in the situation that you're in now. Don't blame the guy for helping you achieve what you wanted. You wanted to go to America. Well, here you are. Well, not everybody's like that. I'm just saying for those that are in that situation. Yeah, well, yeah, that's okay. There, yeah, whatever your name is. Wow, why would I be worried about that? Yeah, some ICE agents don't have time to go to YouTube. I used to go out in the community. Yeah, I didn't even know why are we even talking about ICE there, Usama? Sounds to me like you got an issue. Colonel, you can have a good heart without opening your wallet. Absolutely, Lou. Absolutely. Preaching to the choir. Fellas says, less drama in the USA for now. That's why I leave once every 1 or 2 years. Gen Z rules. I was trying to compliment in him, put him in a younger group, but he pushed himself back to the. I just want to push myself back to the wiser group. That's all. And Bella, yeah, he can say that now. But really, he wanted to win that argument, but he lost. It's all good. These sound like American relationships with all the cheating. Josh Wilson says that. Welcome, Josh. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? But quite honestly, there's cheating in Asia, all over the place. Thailand, Philippines, all over the place. Yeah. And we won't get into that for Heart because I don't want to upset you again. But there's plenty of cheating here in the Philippines. I've seen it. My girl wants to see Australia, but stay and live in the Phils where her heart is. Can you blame her, Norm? I don't have Filipino friends, but my heart says I dealt so much drama for 8 years back home in the Philippines. I've never met those kind of people. Well, good for you. I'm not currently Filipina here. Are you American? That's an amen, sister. Amen Life says, hey, Colonel. All right, Colonel. Well, hello to you. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate all the thumbs up, folks. I got quite a few. Appreciate that. We've been going for over an hour. Can you believe that? Yeah, I would admit that, Amor. No, not all, but most. Bella says, I'm happy for you, Panay. You also protect us expats on comments and bashers. Yeah, but Bella, she can't protect us from ourselves, man. I'm still eating, folks, if you can believe that. I almost choked on that piece. But yeah, I have a friend. He lives in the U.S. Okay, and he has a Filipino wife. Took her over there on a 90-day visa, and so he had to marry her within 90 days. And so he did. And we were talking about kids sitting around doing nothing and whatnot and sponging off their parents. Well, this lady's mad at me right now because I said something that was true, but it was about her children. Really, it was mainly about one of her children, not the other one. And but it was something that her sister said to me, and I agreed with her because see, at the time her sister was trying to get in my good graces and wanted me as a boyfriend, and we were just talking about something, and she brought up her sister's children that they're lazy. And I'm like, well, I was only there for a week, but yeah, I would tend to agree with you. Yeah, they're lazy, especially her son, 24 years old, never came down to the bedroom, I think once or twice. One time when I was there to get some food, the other time was because we all went to the beach, so he decided to come out of his room. He's up there playing video games all the time, 24 years old, not working, and his excuse was that his dad passed away 3 years earlier, and he was still grieving the death of his father. Well, I'm here to tell you, both my parents died. I still went on with life like normal. I had deaths in my family, and I still worked. But so she said that, and I was like, yeah. Well, so now that lady hates me now because her sister now has come back and said oh, the colonel said that you kids are lazy. So she's all hating on me and everything. Why are you worried about my children? I said, I'm not. I was just responding to something your sister said. Now she's using it against me. Whatever. But that woman, she's tried to come between him and every one of his American friends. It's really crazy. And if she sees this, well, she probably will, it's going to make her hate me even more. That's okay. OMG, that's a huge pizza you're still eating. Look like I'm going to make a ham sandwich. Can't have you eating alone. Well, I'm like, you go ahead and do that. No, this pizza wasn't that big. Actually, it's taking me so long to eat it because I'm running my gums, smacking my gums instead of chewing my food. And I heart, you're allowed to step out. Just don't step out on the husband. You can step out and take care of your son. There's different types of stepping out in America. You know that, right? And I know you would never do that. I'm just making a joke. All right. Colonel, I was listening to Lou. I was living in a Muslim barangay, and there was cheating, gossip all the time. My wife had to pay her jobless husband's infidelity fine, about 30,000 pesos. Isn't that pathetic? I don't care what religion you are. That's pathetic, man. That is pathetic. I was told in Thailand by the Muslim lady I was renting a place from, renting my business shop from, that her husband could have as many wives as he could afford. She was like, he can have another wife as long as he can afford it, and he could. So he had like 2 wives, and her attitude was, I don't mind, it's allowed as long as he can afford to take care of both of them. And she said, as long as I'm come first because I'm the first one married. Oh, there's something I haven't seen that name in a while. Manila Gorilla from Guam. Hey, Colonel. Hey, Manila. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you. I gotta run, bro. Alright, bro. You gotta run. It's alright, bro. Safe travels, mess with me when you get home. Safety first. The good expect will remain good. The stupid will remain stupid. That's fact. Then they advertise it on YouTube. They go by. Bellas. I know what you're talking about. And you said a whole lot right there. And there's a whole lot of truth to that. And like I told you yesterday, I was on the live stream. You can't fix stupid, Like Forrest said, stupid is, stupid does. A lot of truth to that. But yeah, if you act stupid and you advertise it on YouTube, guess what? You're gonna get treated stupid. And that's what's happening with some of these YouTubers. I hope I don't have to fall into that trap. It's a shame. But yeah, they need to go bye-bye. Unfortunately, if they have families, the families suffer along with the stupidity. But, it's not like they didn't know what was going on themselves. Fox Finding Life is in the house. It's our Kiwi. Kiwi is in the house. Fox, how you doing, man? What's up to you, too? What's up? My heart. I'm Filipino back in the Philippines. I have not Filipinos backstabbing. I experienced them here in the USA. You don't have backstabbers when you're in the Philippines. That's probably because they're scared of you. I experienced them here in the U.S. Filipino changes when they moved into different country. I became a target in the group. But it's funny you say that, Panay, because I observe the Maritas here all the time. Okay? And I'm not going to say it's all backstabbing, but I've never seen people that would like to talk about other people, get into other people's business as much as the Filipinos do to each other over here. And it's downright humorous to me. Kind of annoying sometimes if I'm involved in it or if they're talking about me, but it's you just got to laugh at it. God bless all. Salute to you too, Bellas. Thanks for joining us here. Go take care of your business. And I heart when I disagree the way they act and behave to other Filipinos. I don't want to be a part of Filipino drama. None of us want to, but some of us, we marry into it. There you go. We're a part of it. Who says since the jobless husband was a squatter in the owner's land, he had to pay up to the woman's family. Hold on. They have to follow rules and say do not pay rent in the land they live. Okay. And then like, hi, Bella's Traveler. Lucian Cat, awesome. Enjoy life, bro. Yep. It says the label of being family-oriented in the Philippines seems like a fallacy to me, from my personal experience. Well, there's some truth to what you're saying, and there's some not true to what you're saying on that. All in all, as a culture, they're family-oriented. But some of them, especially the younger ones, are not living like that. And that goes back on the parents not impressing upon the young people the importance of their culture and the importance of the family unit. Same thing in America. So I see what you're saying about it being a fallacy, because in many cases it is, and I've seen that myself. But you go back to the generation where it stopped. And I'm also a believer of this. You can teach your children, but you can't make them do everything, Like my kids don't do everything the way I wish they had or would. But I did my part, and I can only give advice after that. They're adults, they make their own decisions. But I don't think that's a total fallacy, because it's still here. Take James and Karen for example. Karen's family, oh my goodness, it's not a fallacy to them. They're living it. That family is very tight. Even though they're married, they're very tight. Fox, just here to make life better for you, brother. Fox, I'm a firm believer. Everybody needs a little kiwi in their back pocket, brother. Thanks for being here, man. I'm just teasing you, but I appreciate you, man. Fox is a wealth of information, very intelligent man, and he helps out many people. He even helps out people that may not like each other, but he helps them all out. He's a good dude. Appreciate you, man. News says because most Filipinos do not own land, so that being king of blood is not theirs compared to other countries I have visited in his experience. Okay. Bellas, thank you. Bellas from Panay Heart. I am married to American and my son is half American. My heart is to protect and advocate for expats. Thank you, Panay Heart. Bellas and I were talking about that. We were talking about you, and we were talking about our Irish sister, Sula. You guys both stick up for all of us, and we appreciate that. Fox. What is that, Fox? I can't see. Is that are you whispering sweet nothings? Yes, you are. You're sending me little hearts. You, Fox, you. Appreciate you, brother. All joking aside. My heart, my child is autistic and he can be misinterpreted in his behavior, and having ADHD and these mental health issues, some people doesn't understand this. Well, you're exactly right. And you know what? A lot of people, they misinterpret things they don't understand. Like, it's just normal. That's the normal dynamics of that. But especially if you have an autistic child, and only you know the dynamics that go on there. And I dated a girl in Thailand whose son was autistic. I mean, he wasn't high functioning autistic. He was pretty low functioning. And it's a daily challenge. And it's work. But you love them just the same. Hapa, hello, Colonel. Hapa, welcome. Are you just getting up over there? You didn't knock anybody down yet today, did you? Yes, Hapa, everything's going well now. My experience here at Shakey's has gotten, it's not shaky anymore. It's getting a little bit better. It was shaky at first. That's why they call it Shakey's, I guess. That just popped in my head, folks. I think that's funny. How you doing? I'm a little shaky right now because I'm sitting in Shakey's. Hey, you were doing okay? I'm in Tacloban. I'm going to spend the night here and then catch a flight out tomorrow evening. Because I couldn't get the flight I wanted today. I have a mild form of autism, Fox says. Okay, Fox. But you seem to be high functioning to me, brother. Mental health is taboo in the Philippines, but it's getting better now. There's a lot of people now speaking up. It's funny you say that tonight, because I walking in the mall here at Robinson's, I saw a family sitting there with two of their children. Two of their children. I don't know what the diagnosis is, but I would say that one was autistic, and the other one, I think she actually looked like she had Down syndrome. But hey, they're a family. They were sitting there eating and doing family things, and God bless them for that. One of my best secretaries I work with in the bureau, her son's severely autistic. And he's 21, 22 years old now. He still lives with her at home. She still takes care of him. The parents did not care about the kids. They would just dump them in their classroom. Best teachers are at home, not at school. I agree with that, Lee. All right, Happer. Going to hit the hay soon. But don't hit it too hard there, brother. Why were you shaky and shaky? Well, it's a long story, man. I'm not going to go over the edges. I was not happy when I got into the way they were treating me. And I hard said, to be honest, while everyone wanted that certain individual, pro-life traveler, I forgave him for what he said in the past to Filipinos. Some people didn't know what they were saying. He was not given a warning to correct. That's not true. He might not have been given a warning by authorities, but you better believe enough people told him you need to change the ways. I'm not buying that. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know what I was doing was wrong. That's a bunch of BS. Anybody that's making a video that's going up and grabbing girls, young ladies, I don't care what age you are, grabbing them by the arm, grabbing them on the shoulder everywhere you go, like why are you putting your hands on a woman that you don't know without their consent? Let's just keep it real. In America, if a man goes up and puts his hand on a woman, like this knucklehead was doing, would it be acceptable? No. Well, guess what? It's not acceptable in Asia either. It's probably less acceptable over here. So, I can't believe that he's being an idiot and he didn't know he was being an idiot. I'm sorry. I don't have any sympathy for him. Hate me if you want, but that's just my opinion. Mistakes, let's say it was bad, but there's always a room for improvement. He has a kid, he has a wife, he was responsible to them, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's why I said, unfortunately, in his situation, the punishment is not, it's just like any criminal. We say this because I was in the criminal business, okay? It's not the criminals that are just being punished, it's the families that are punished because of the behavior of the criminals. I got to the point where I stopped having sympathy. And it's wrong, but it's what happens. Because you see it so much. You become desensitized. And you're like, hey, it is what it is. Like Forrest said, stupid is as stupid does. He knew what he was doing. He knew darn well what he was doing. And you can't convince me that he didn't. And he wants to sit there, I'm really sorry now for what I did. I wish I had done it differently. Yeah, because you got caught. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for his wife and kids, but you can't tell me his wife didn't know what he was doing. I meant to say everyone didn't want pro-life traveler. Okay. I knew what you're getting at. I can reply live later. Sorry you weren't being treated with respect, especially when you are the customer. I have. It was just strange. There was some strange stuff. It didn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. I don't like to be lied to. When I ask somebody like why I got to do something, they give me an excuse, and then I can obviously see that that's not the real reason. And I think I knew what the reason was. I talked about that earlier. And you don't have to go back and watch it happen. It's really nonsense, really. I just was in my feelings, and so I went live instead to talk about it. Everyone can forgive you or love you when they take you to the bank. There you go, Lou. Amoa says he was told. He probably did not care or believe, but was told many times. That's my point. That's my point, Amoa. He was not ignorant to what he was doing. He knew very well what he was doing. And each time he went up and he grabs a girl by the arm, I didn't want to give the guy credit by watching his videos because he's having a YouTube. But every time I see him go on to a video and he goes up and grabs a girl by the arm, I'm like, why are you grabbing her by the arm, man? Why? I mean, except it's like he's trying to steal some affection. And to me, that's a pervert. I had issues with that. You know? There was no law that criminalized them. The problem was he was a foreigner and posted them in a video. Can I heart? That's part of it. That's part of the issue. I mean, there's so many dynamics. And I just thought I didn't want to talk about that guy, but you guys brought it up, so here we are. So what's next for the Colonel? Staying in Lake Day for a little bit longer or heading back? I couldn't get a flight out tonight that I was willing to pay for. So I'm going to fly out tomorrow evening. I got my normal flight between Leyte and Iloilo. It's a straight shot, 15-minute flight. It only takes like 35 minutes in the air. And so I'm going to stay tonight here in Tacloban. And if you want to come see me, I'm staying at a hotel. I'm not telling you where I'm at. But I'm in Tacloban. But if I told people where I was at, they're going to tell them what would come out of the woodwork. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to stay here tonight and then I'll fly back tomorrow. It's time for me to get home. Yeah, my electric bill should be waiting for me. I need to pay it. Okay, so it says a pro-life traveler took me to the bank. Will love his. What? I will love his as well. Yeah, Lou, I get what you're saying. Yeah, about his wife. Yeah. Sim is a family friend. Well, Fox, not to talk bad about a family friend, but some of us take issue with his lack of intelligence based on his behavior, what he was doing. He should have known better. Hold on, I swallowed that the wrong way. Papa says, I don't even think they grab girls like that in Europe or wherever he's from. Excuse me, folks. Swallowed that lemonade the wrong way. I could be wrong, but yeah, he's a knucklehead. Yeah, that's what I call him. He's just a knucklehead. But I ain't gonna lie to you, and I don't want to be racist or judgmental, but When I was in Thailand, I ran into a lot of Eastern Europeans, and there's some really nice couples that I met, but the majority of them got just like him, arrogant, think that they can't be touched. And this is just the vibe I got from him. I don't know the man personally, so excuse me, Fox, if I'm saying anything offensive, but that's the vibe he gives off to the average people. Panay says, I told my husband, now foreigners on the hot spot. Yep. Remember why Ashton Fox is he family? I don't think so. Dad, you got a ticket for tomorrow? Yep. Chappie says, hello, Colonel. Hello, Chappie. How you doing? Tell us where you're from. You found a decent hotel. What's your standard? Wow. What's my standard? Sometimes you don't know till you get there, but my standard is I don't live high on the hog, okay? But I don't look for the cheapest hotel either, okay? I don't mind paying a little bit if the hotel's nice. So I would say my standard is fairly nice, but it's not luxurious, okay? I'm on the upper scale. I'm on the upper side of the middle. Sometimes I like to spoil myself. And if it's just one night, I'll splurge. The hotel I'm staying at tonight, it's not the cheapest. I'll just put it that way. It's not too outrageous either. For one night, it's fine. Let's see, Panay Hart. I just started watching his content around the time Vitaly was caught, so I didn't see those witch hunt videos circulating around. And Vitaly's another knucklehead. What a knucklehead. You didn't get me started on that, dude. But anyway. Colonel, my first day in Amsterdam at a park, a woman a mile away demanded me to erase my GoPro video since she was on it. Did you? I don't know the laws over there. I probably would have said, can't make me. Just blur her out. Blur her out when you edit. It's no big deal. I don't think regardless Mr. Colonel wants to bag on people on his channel. Yeah, I really don't, but if somebody brings something up, I'll address how I feel about it. But just because I feel a certain way about it, doesn't make that right, okay? I say right in the description of my channel, these are my musings, my opinions. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but I try to be fair to people. But when I see something with my own eyes and I know it to be wrong in my heart, I'm like, okay, I'm not backing down. I saw somebody as being very arrogant in their videos and not caring about others around them and not caring about consequences. And guess what? They finally caught up to them. So, I'm sorry. It is what it is. Lewis says, I think Filipinos should be more blunt in telling foreigners that they want to be filmed. Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. Most of the Filipinos I run into, they want to be on the videos. They enjoy it, okay? But if you're making fun of them, why would they want to be on it? If you're making fun of them, you're belittling them, like with Jenny Land, the videos with her. I'm making fun of her and everything, but she knows what I'm doing. And she's sitting there, dealing with it and whatnot. So it's a different scenario. My heart says, but what I saw was that he was going to the community, making friends to people that were not used to foreigners. He was introducing himself to them to be comfortable around the foreigners. Okay, that's what you saw. I saw that, but I interpreted it differently. That's all I'm going to say. I don't look at that. He was doing it to do what you're saying. I think he was doing it to exploit them for his purposes on YouTube. Sorry, just my opinion. Oh, Chappie's up in Oregon. Okay. Well, not too late there. Well, welcome, Chappie. Yeah, I see that, and you know what I think of Officer and a Gentleman. Oh, I love it. They call him Chappie and Officer and Gentleman. It was Chappie was in another one of his movies. Louis Gossett Jr. There's another one of his movies that's called Chappie. Yeah, okay, getting that mixed up. Same actor. My heart. Oh, it's hard for Filipinos to speak up, especially if they weren't around the foreigners. Fox Founding Live, Mr. Colonel is a good person, and I don't think his channel is about talking opinions, judging anyone. Nah, Fox is not, but I'm not going to shy away from it either, brother. But I thank you for pointing that out to everybody. Appreciate what you're trying to do there. And it's okay, yeah, this channel is not about bashing you. This channel is about having fun. But we're going to talk about real life issues, and I'm okay with that. And, Panay Hart, yeah, a lot of them, they don't understand what's happening. And a lot in his videos, they didn't. And that's where you're exploiting people, if they don't know. Have a clean bed, clean toilet. I'm good as far as hotels go. Well, you know, I like to have hot water when you're in Asia. Sometimes you don't get it. That frustrates me. And like the last time I stayed at this hotel, the water pressure was like next to nothing. But I finally figured out how to get the hot water to work. But it just trickled out. That's annoying to me. So that's my standard. I like to have, you know, I like to have things work. Yeah, I can Windrose, but give me a reason why. I don't even know you. Good. I was renting an apartment in Zamboanga City for $100 US. It was owned by a British lady. Nothing fancy, but very comfortable. If you guys want to say happy birthday to Windrose, go ahead and say happy birthday. I'm sorry, Windrose. Sometimes, you know, people come on here and say the darndest things, and I didn't mean to be short with you, but if it's your birthday, happy birthday. Fortune is in the house. Good afternoon, Colonel. Where are you now? I'm in Tacloban, Fortune. I'm at the Robinsons, eating at the Shakey's, and it's been a shaky experience until I got the pizza, and then things got better from there. What sounds like mid-tier. That's cool. Sometimes it's hard to find in the provinces, I hear. Well, I'm in a city, so, you know, I don't think I'm staying at the best hotel in the city, but I'm definitely staying in one of the better ones. At Colonel, we are good. That's good to hear your side. Thank you, Panay Hart. Everybody's different, and we all have different feelings about things. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. But that's the beautiful thing about being a human being. We're not all the same. Lord help us if everybody was like me. Oh my goodness. That would be awful. Hapa cement ceiling. Okay, I got you, Hapa. No good for young couples. Stupid. I have nothing against with you, Colonel. We have a good conversation. I know that, Panay Hart. I never once thought that. Never once thought that. Steve Irwin, Stone Cold Steve's here. Panay Hart, pro-life traveler, had police knocking on his door 9 months ago about his channel. There you go. There you go. Chappie is a nickname I got from work. Kind of like how you got the name Colonel. Okay, Chappie, that's good to know. Look who's here. Our other great supporter, Panay Hart. Your sister Sula is here. Thanks for the thumbs up, Sula. We were talking about you earlier. Don't worry, it was all good. We're talking about how you support us. Me, Bellis, James, Karen. It's great how you guys support us. Okay, Colonel, take care of him, Fortune. Thanks, Fortune. I know you're busy, brother. Night Heart says, thanks, Stone Cold. I watched the other day. There was no criminal charges. He has to self-deport himself. No, I'm a wild. Fortune's not the. He's not the farmer with the vegetables. No, Fortune's a banker, to just put it in an easy way. Fortune, you can explain what you do a little bit better. I know that he's at the bank. And Fortune is a very intelligent, well-informed Filipino man. Sister Sula from Panay Heart, Stone Cold. When you pay people off, the charges go away. Yeah, never true. Sula, my Irish sister, says hi, Panay. And at Steve, do you think that's what happened? Oh, I'll answer for Steve Sula. I believe that's absolutely what happened. He paid. Otherwise, he paid somebody, or he was probably, they were going after him for a lot more than what, yeah. Him being deported, he got off easy. Okay. Vitality went to prison. Pro-life could easily go into prison, too. Okay, Fortune, I said it right. Okay, I have a meeting 2:15. Hey, go take care of that high-powered meeting, sir. Don't take any of my money, brother. I'm joking. Just tuned in between these. Well, thank you, Fortune. Very kind. This is another guy. We talk about Sula and my heart, but Fortune, this man here, I don't know how he has time to do everything that he does, but he is supporting so many channels on YouTube of foreigners and keeping us straight and teaching us about the Philippines and educating us about the history of the Philippines. That's awesome what he does. All right, catch you later, Fortune. Thanks. What? Man, so we speak the same language, ex-banker. You probably do. Sula. Funny think about it, Colonel. We could be related. It's a small island, LOL. Sula, shh. Don't tell anybody that, Sula. I don't want them to find out our family secrets, okay? You know, it's not my fault I got a little bit of leprechaun in me, you know? But anyway, maybe that's why I'm so short. I'm just making funny of it. Right now, there's a baby will grow up without a father. Hopefully they will reunite. All she's got to do is go over to where he's at. All they got to do is work to that end. You know, I think Vitality's got a little, I think he has a different future in store. He might be strapped to a drone somewhere. But anyway, we'll see. What an embarrassment to the Russian people, Vitality. What an embarrassment, in my opinion. I would be embarrassed if I was Russian and he's being characterized as what the Russian people represent. I wouldn't want him back. Let's see. Okay, Colonel, gotta go. Nice chatting. This is from Chappie. I have a son with autism. Got to get him ready for bed. Take care. God bless. Chappie, you're doing honest work there. Okay? And you and Panay Hart and anyone else out there. And my secretary, Maria, we're good friends, and her son, God bless her. That woman, best secretary one of the best secretaries I've been around. And I don't know how she did it, but she did. Still takes care of her son. Bye, Kuya and Fortune. For those of you that don't know what Kuya, that's brother. It's the little kid and why so sad, really. Yeah, so, he had a little kid and he got a wife. But most of us expats were like, hey, his wife knew what he was doing, and she was benefiting from his YouTube channel. So, she didn't stop him from doing some of his antics. So, who do you blame for that? Unfortunately, the child is the one that suffered. Yep, my heart. Yeah, as I was saying, your son's autistic, so take care. Fortune says, I also have my Luna. That's right, Fortune. You know, it's the two girls is nonverbal autistic. And I didn't forget about that, Fortune. I just didn't mention it. Because I knew that. I shouldn't say I did forget in the moment, but I did know that. And I remember that because we talked about that before. She's 14 years old now. If I was more well versed on that topic, we could address that here and talk about it. It seems like a lot of people in the group are familiar with it, and that could make for an interesting discussion. I just don't feel educated enough to talk about that, and it would just be my conjecture and talking about personal experiences I've had with people with autism. So I don't really feel qualified to go into. I have a lot of counseling experience, but not in that realm. I know a little bit, but not enough where I would feel comfortable being a moderator on that subject. Okay, so it says, Chapter, take care. What she says, Colonel, I can still join, but I had to mute your audio so I can listen in to the meeting. Hey, Fortune, go take care of business, man. What you got going on is much more important than what I have going on right now, but I appreciate you being here. Yeah, Panay Heart Vitality, that was really wrong. Yes, it was. It's been an hour and 40 minutes, folks. You're probably waiting on me to get out of here. Fortune, that's tough. Shula says, Fortune. Shula, I have 2 laptops. I don't know how you do everything, Fortune. I don't know how you do it all, brother. Oh, you mean with my daughter, Luna? Yeah. Panay, what happened? I'm a Fortune Uni earbud, man. There you go. Yes, Fortune. Agreed. It's always the poor kids who suffer. That's true. Even in divorce and whatnot. She's on the mini therapist. She can understand but can't speak. Therapies. I'm sorry, Fortune. Yeah, Fortune's talking about Luna, his daughter, 14-year-old daughter. Stone Cold. Jolene should start a channel ASAP while some people are sympathetic to her plight. So Marines, of course, did not develop. Yeah, we understand, Fortune. Steve, good idea, but perhaps she saw no wrongdoing. She's sleazy, made me feel sad. Yeah, so, I'm kind of leaning that way myself, but I don't want to put it out so bluntly. But I'm with you with what you're saying. Yeah, Jolene is already popular, so she can make her own channel. That's up to her. Panay, she's pretty too good for him, probably. I don't know. I hear you, Sola. That's kind of harsh, though. But listen, folks, I'm going to get off here and pay my bill. Thank you all for hitting the thumbs up. And this has been a pretty wild. I didn't expect this conversation to go this way at all. I just wanted to whine a little bit and complain about Shakey's Pizza because they, once again, were disappointed at first. But now the pizza came and the pizza was fine. We'll see what the bill looks like. And, Sula, we welcome the opinion. My opinions are stronger than yours, girl. Don't even worry about that. Sorry, told me if I had too much. No, because I'm right there with you in that same opinion. I feel the same way. I wasn't putting all my feelings out there. I was just putting some of them. You're more than welcome to put your opinions out there. That's what the channel's for, people to talk about things. That's why we're here. All right. Thanks for your time, Colonel. We hope that we cheer you up. You did, Panay Heart. You guys always cheer me. I see you, Sula. I see Fortune. Fox comes in there. Everybody. Josh Wilson popped in there. Amma Watt. Everybody. It makes my day. Stone Cold. He comes in and brings sensibility and puts our feet back on the ground. I appreciate everybody coming in there. Whether I agree with you or not, I still appreciate it. That's such much fun. I want to judge autistic people like James and myself. Is that what James' issue? No, I'm just messing with you, James. And James Karen in here earlier, too. Bruce and Carol, yep. Thanks for listening, Bruce. And Carol, appreciate that. Later, and be safe. Fortune, hey, man, how are you? Oh, Future Farmers of Akron. Hey, brother, I'm coming to see you soon, if that's okay. Probably over with James and Karen. I'm not sure. Yeah, I have to, because I don't know where you're at. But I definitely want to see what you got going on there, because you got some things going on that I've done in the past, and I always like to see how other people do it and how they're being successful. And let's see. Sula, Fox was making a joke because he has a touch of autism, and he's talking about James, and he's telling me that he's joking with me that I'm not judgmental on him and James. That was a joke. Yeah, man, come on up. Yeah, future farmers. Yeah, definitely. I've talked to James about that already. I think he's talked to you about it. If he hasn't, he should have. No, you can't. But thanks for the comment. And folks, I am out of here. The Colonel's out. I got to pay my bill. Colonel's out.